All right, everyone, welcome back to the Discounts Daily Technical Analysis Show. We have been absent for a little bit. We're working on some things here, trying to launch a website as well as a newsletter. So bear with us. I just want to jump back on because we are seeing some things in the markets that are pretty interesting. This has been in melt up mode. You have not gotten any type of significant pullback. This has been chopping around, consolidating into this area of overhead resistance. And we're going to be going into this major area again, this gap fill at about, where is it, 422 on the spiders, all the way up to 430 on the spiders. Is going to be a major area of overhead resistance. And depending on how we get there, I'm not sure how, but if we got right up into there, that for me is a short trade for a reaction in the other direction, at least for a couple of days. So let's keep an eye on that and see how things turn out. Again, we are in a bull market, or at least a bull trend, so we want to be careful. I just right now, guys, if anyone you ask, anyone you talk to, yes, the trend is strong. You do just want to be on the lookout for any type of move, right? Whether it could be, open the trap door type of situation. I think if that happened again, that's a buy scenario, right? I'm definitely open to longs if that happens. But again, these are just choppy waters. It's really not a great time to enter any trades unless you just want to hope and pray and hop on board to the long side. That's just not my style. I'm going to wait for the setup to provide me an opportunity to either get long or get short for some good points. So that is the SPY daily chart technical analysis. We do have the QQQ. I just wanted to draw a fib level or a fib retrace here down on the daily chart and see how beautiful this fib retrace and how the candlesticks have been playing in this fib retrace, right? So you look, this area right here at the 50% fib retrace at 332, I think, if the SPY gets into that level, that should be where you see kind of at least a short-term top in the NASDAQ for the time being. I think if it gets up right into that 50% retrace, now again, this has been stronger than the S&P 500. So if we get that type of move in the SPY chart, right? So let's go back to the S&P 500. We get that type of move in the S&P 500 into that 422 to 430 level. You could see the NASDAQ actually blow through this and get to this level right here. Let's draw a little line right here. This was a breakdown area right here that was pretty significant, and it's right below the 618 retrace at 350. So that could be an interesting spot if you wanted to start up a short at 332 on the QQQ all the way up to this box, this breakdown box right here, I think is pretty interesting. So that's the daily technical analysis, common sense technical analysis on the QQQ. Going over to the all-important, let's get rid of that. Going over to the all-important Bitcoin. I draw this channel because I don't think people really are watching for what could be just a scenario if we get any type of sell-off. Obviously, you don't want to see anything get down here, but if it does get down here and it gives you that opportunity, those are long scenarios, right? You definitely want to be buying, or at least I would be buying, if and when it gets back into this area. But here's the thing, and I saw something on Twitter. One of my friends that I follow, very commonly when you get these bull trends off these significant bear markets, or at least significant bear market for Bitcoin, you're going to get a situation where this thing just doesn't give you any type of significant pullback, right? It's just basically parabolic, and it's not, and that's the point. It doesn't want to let traders in. However, it still gives you setups to play certain scenarios. So if it got and it deviated, you have a deviation from this channel, and it just went parabolic right into this 382 retrace, right at about 36,000, and it's also a gap fill. So you're getting um, multiple factors here. I do think that is an opportunity to get short, at least for a swing trade, right? Come back down, and let's draw a little box here. Come back down and test this major area, right, of overhead resistance that it's finding a really hard time breaking through right now. So that would be totally normal to just look. It's been consolidating. It's been consolidating. Let's get the pen out here. Let's delete all this. It's been consolidating in this channel up on the upper range. Boom, breaks out, deviates, fills that gap fill, maybe even gets a little bit higher into this area right here, and then comes back down into the channel to do a retest. That would be a nice short opportunity, right? So you want to look for things like that, because those are the opportunities that are, the contrarian thing, the counter trend thing to do. But we don't. Here's the thing: when people say, "Well, it's in a bull trend, why don't you just buy the dips?" Well, they're not providing really any significant dips, and again, like, we don't know they're going to get to this area, right? But we know if they get to this area in a certain manner, right? If they get right up into this area in a certain manner and deviate from this uptrend, that there should be a reaction 9 to 8 times out of 10 in the other direction. And those are the odds that we want, and we want to just keep those types of odds in our favor, or at least that's the style I like to do. So that's the quick technical analysis on the daily chart on Bitcoin, guys. We did have a solid day trade today. I mean, it was okay. It still gave the win, but the S&P 500 really didn't do much today. So let's go over to that and I'll show you what happened. So into the 10-minute chart here on the SPY. So we had called out first thing in the morning. I think it was at like 8:30 maybe in the morning. And then we had the market open, boom, at 9:30. So we're waiting and we're waiting. It was really a boring day. I called this level out. It started at 413.50 on the SPY, and it was wide. I usually don't like to do this wide of a zone, but I was willing to buy 3 or 4 different times within the zone, because it was that good of a zone. It's just the volatility, as you could see, it wasn't sure how far it was going to get. So we just account for that. We just take what the market gives us. So anyway, 413.50 was the beginning of the zone, and I bought a third time right at about here, and we got a decent trade. So this was like about the average, depending on how you got filled. And it went up and gave about 50 cents to $1. So that is the trade that we look to do. It just depends on how you got filled. Even if, let's say, you just got filled at 413.50, well, it still gave you an opportunity to get out at, what was it, 414, at about 75 cents to $1 if you wanted to hold on that much later. I only got 50 cents out of it, and that's fine. That's the minimum, the bare minimum that we like to get on these trades. And it was first thing right before the lunchtime hour. So not an amazing day, guys, but still it gave us something nonetheless. And we just stay patient. See, so those traders that might have been buying the dip right here got smacked, and we just wanted to wait for our level. And you could see where I'm getting these levels, by the way. Here, see, it came down into this level, boom, it skipped gap fill, it came right into here, and then came over here and tested that. So again, and then this would have been your next major pivot area right here. So that's how I come up with this, and that's how I determine the volatility for the day and your odds. So getting all, let's delete this real quick. And my thinking is, if this came, look how beautifully that came right down. Well, if it came right down and you got, let me just go back real quick. If it came right down into this whole zone, you got filled 3 times down to here, you got a full position and you're making a huge profit potentially, right? So good trade nonetheless, but still not an amazing day. It really didn't do much. It came into the zone and then just chopped around and stayed that way. So market is kind of not really making up its mind on what it wants to do, but it's still pulling back to the daily chart. it is still in a very strong uptrend, right? So again, just it closed flat on the day, and we're still trying to make um, a target or a move here to this gap and to this very important spot next on the SPY. So looking for how it gets into there again. I think that's a very viable short trade for reaction in the other direction. We'll see how it gets in there, guys. Head on over to the Lazy Day Trader channel. If you want day trades, the channel is currently free. It's in Telegram if you're a remote worker, if you are a full-time day trader, if you are a aspiring full-time day trader, and this is just something that you want to check out. Well, it's free. So come on over. The track record, I think right now is 88% since February, 88% win rate since February. So good track record so far. We're just going to try to keep that up. The link to the Lazy Day Trader channel is within this video's description as well as the channel's description. And you can head on over to my Twitter profile as well and check out the link from there. So thank you guys. We'll see you on the charts tomorrow and take care. Have a great night.